What is up, FPL managers, guys? Today we are looking at my game week 14 team selection, the transfers I made, and you know what to do with Isak and Gabriel. Like and subscribe. Now guys, going into game week 14, I clearly had a few issues. We've got Gabriel and Isak yellow flagged, and Bruno with a run of games I don't want to hold him for. So there's 3 players I might want to sell with 2 free transfers and 0.1 in the bank. So what do I do? Now, the moves I make all depends on how these injuries are shaping out to be. Looking at the Gabriel injury, Arteta said it was a precautionary sub. In the press conference, he made it seem like if Arsenal didn't have a good lead, he would have stayed on and he was completely fine to play. He just had a niggle and he thought, you know, let's just play it safe and take him off. So Gabriel, I'm not really worried about at all. I'm confident he's going to start next game week. So the main injury we're looking at today is just Isak. Now, after the game, Eddie Howe said it's a contact injury and not a muscle injury, which is good news, okay? That means it's a short-term injury. The problem is he doesn't know the recovery time as of right now, as of when I'm recording. If he said anything extra, I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Is Isak worth holding? How many games is he going to miss? Now, in my personal opinion, if Isak is missing 0 or 1 game, he is worth holding. He is not worth selling because, let's be honest, as an Isak owner, if we could have Isak miss 1 game, it would easily be the Liverpool game. So if he does miss this Liverpool game or come on as a sub, it's not the end of the world because he was unlikely to get a return in this one anyway. It's the games after where he plays Brentford, Ipswich and Leicester, which look quite promising. If it turns out Isak is going to be missing at least 2 games indefinitely, like he's not going to play that Brentford game, I'm probably going to sell Isak as well as Bruno. As it stands right now, if we hear nothing else, I'm going to go with holding Isak. But here are the 2 potential moves I could make depending on the Isak injury news. The first one is selling Bruno to one of these 3 options. Most likely Odegaard. We'll talk about why in a bit. But yeah, I'll be holding Isak if he's only missing 1 game maximum, and I'll be ready for him to play that Brentford game and play against a couple promoted teams in the near future. This is the move I'm kind of less excited to make. You know, if Isak does end up being out for more than 2 games, I get to make some more fun transfers. We'll take a look at them ones now, guys. Instead of going from Bruno to Odegaard, I'd go from Bruno to Saka, then go from Isak to Delap, which is way more exciting, you know, because Saka, let's be honest, he's scary to go without. He just got 18 points, but, you know, it didn't stop me from a green arrow. What can I say? Then Delap on some good form at the moment, a very good differential with 4 good fixtures coming up. So, yeah, ideally, I hope Isak is out for more than 2 games. But if he isn't, I can't justify selling him. I can't. I have to keep him in my team. If he does miss that Liverpool game, I've got some bench fodder to get me 1 or 2 points, maybe a lucky clean sheet from Veltman, you know, I wouldn't complain, but the hopes aren't too high. So obviously I don't have all the answers on the Isak injury at the moment. There's an account on Twitter/X called FPL Physio. I would strongly recommend all of you guys follow that because he's pretty reliable with his predictions. I'll also be posting my full team on there at deadline so you guys know what I've done with Isak, you know, full transparency, whether I've kept him or sold him. So if you are interested, head over there, go drop me a follow and, you know, stay tuned. But yeah, let's look at the team selection as of right now. We're looking at the defence first of all, and we're lining up quite healthily. Sanchez just got me a clean sheet against Aston Villa, so why shouldn't he do it against Southampton? You know, it's a pretty good fixture. Looking at Gabriel, he didn't play against Liverpool, which is sort of worrying. It's also sort of why I want to save up another free transfer instead of using 2 free transfers, because if I need to sell Gabriel as a rotation risk, I want some transfers in the bank because it's not a transfer I planned on making. But, you know, I'm not worried too much at the moment. Looking at Nori playing against Everton, I'm optimistic, guys. Everton have had so many goalless games recently. Their form is not good. And we all know about Nori's goal threat. So, yeah, high hopes for that one as well. Gabriel playing home to Man United. Like I said, I'm confident he'll start. Manchester United are also missing Kobe Mainoo and Lisandro Martinez. And Man United are already pretty awful playing away from home. So, with 2 key players missing out, Arsenal may have a field day with this one. That's part of why I've gone with Odegaard as my transfer for Bruno Fernandes instead of Bowen or Mitoma. I really like the look of this Man United home game. It's down as a grey fixture, but it could easily be a green. It's just sometimes United are tough to attack against. Sometimes their defence is quite solid. They have a few clean sheets this season, but easily on the other hand, I could see Arsenal scoring 3 to 4 goals. And with Odegaard being the main creative player at Arsenal, why would he not be involved in some of them? You know what I mean? Obviously, he's nowhere near the likes of Saka, but he's going to get you reliable minutes. He'll be on a few set pieces. He obviously takes some of the penalties. I don't know how they decide it. And Odegaard has just come back from injury in 3 games and got 3 goal involvements at the end of the day. That's pretty solid. It's consistent. But yeah, definitely a risky move, but a risky move I'm happy taking. Now, guys, looking at Salah and Palmer, the captaincy debate, I am going to go with Cole Palmer because away to Newcastle is not easy. Newcastle playing away is different. When Newcastle are away from home, they're not too good at all. But when they play at home, they're solid. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for Salah whatsoever. Whereas Palmer, even though his away form isn't great, he's playing against Southampton. So I'm pretty optimistic for a Cole Palmer double-digit haul. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm quite optimistic for it. I'm not sure what their effective ownerships are going to be. I mean, if a player has over 100% effective ownership at your rank, it means you only benefit from their points if they're your captain. I do believe one of these guys is going to have an effective ownership above 100%. I'm not too sure which one yet. Alongside them, we've got Rodgers, who is playing for a very off-form Aston Villa team. 3 losses and 2 draws in the last 5 games, I believe. I mean, only Man City are on worse form. So Aston Villa have not been too good. I think it comes down to Ollie Watkins missing a lot of his expected goals and a kind of tough fixture run. Ultimately, I'm not too sure what's going on with them, but playing home to Brentford is huge because Brentford's away defence is not good. Brentford at home is like Newcastle. They're very good at home, very bad away from home, so this could be a good game for Aston Villa to turn their form around. And Morgan Rodgers being a starting attacker in that team, playing at least 60 to 80 minutes, I'm very happy with this player in my team. I think he's going to get me a return. Obviously, onto the front line now, we have Isak. Now, I assume Isak is either going to play as a sub, which isn't the end of the world, coming on against some tired players, or we're going to get Veltman playing away to Fulham off the bench. But we could very well easily see Isak start his next game. You know, there's many times Eddie Howe has been concerned about a player and he's going to start the next game week. Even when Isak came off in game week 13, he went down, slightly injured, carried on playing for 10 more minutes, then decided he was hurting a bit, so he went off. So it's not like it was an immediate sub where he got hit and he went off straight away. He could carry on playing. It seems like more of a precautionary sub. It seems like Newcastle are more playing it safe. And I think they're going to do everything they can to bring him back in the Liverpool game because they're going to need the best players at their disposal. But like I said, if he doesn't, it's not the end of the world because I wasn't expecting a lot from Isak anyway in this game week. We have the Chelsea triple up in Jackson playing away to Southampton. Guys, Jackson has been insane recently. He's proven himself to be a consistent goal scorer all throughout this FPL season. I'm surprised his ownership isn't a little bit higher, but you know, I'm not going to complain. I'd rather all of you sell him or just don't bring him in because it means more points for me at the end of the day. It means me getting a higher rank. So yeah, you know, don't get Jackson. That's fine with me. Then guys, we have the Arsenal triple up. Now, I'm a Man United fan, so I'm going to have mixed emotions going into this Arsenal versus Man United game because if Havertz and Odegaard start linking up and scoring mad points, it's going to be, you know, I'm not going to like it, but part of me is going to be like, well, you know, my FPL is doing all right. So ultimately, I like Havertz's consistency. He gets a decent amount of expected goals and expected assists. He won't always come away with the big double-digit hauls, but I am quite optimistic he can get himself a goal involvement in this game and at least one goal involvement in the next few after because the Arsenal fixture run, in my opinion, is the best in the game alongside Chelsea's. That's why I've gone with the Arsenal and Chelsea triple up because I believe they are the best teams to target. And real quick, let me show you guys the alternate team. We get rid of Odegaard, we get rid of Isak, and instead we'd have Saka in there with Delap as well. I like the look of this team more. This game week, this team is definitely better. Short term, it's the best move to go for. But long term, I think it's going to be hard to ignore how good Isak is. It's all relying on Isak. Okay, guys, if I keep Isak and he lets me down, I'm not going to be a big fan of him. I'm going to become the #1 Isak hater. But looking at all the expected goals and the expected assists he was getting before this, run of 2 bad games, it was so damn high and it's really hard to ignore. Also, Saka to me, even though he's been getting loads of points recently, he has 4.9 expected assists and 11 assists this season. It's a massive overperformance and I don't think he's going to keep up these massive hauls as much. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of my team. Let me know what move you think I should make. Do you disagree with me? Do you think I should go with Saka and Delap in my team? Let me know down in the comments. If you did make it this far, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you all in the next video.